So I'm here with the most beautiful woman, Makiko, and you've been really over the past 5, 6 years focused on beauty as a solution for your well-being. And you're going to share with me a little bit about your top 3 beauty secrets and beauty trends that you incorporated into your own life. Having access to everything that's available, especially here in Japan, where I think the women take beauty as something so serious. What does beauty mean to you?
Thank you, Naomi. Well, beauty actually means happiness for me because, like, when I had two daughters, and each time I had my baby, I got like non-beautiful. Like every time I had my baby, well, I was happy in the inside, but like every time I had my baby, it was like more like something was taken out of myself. Like my skin was getting like very raggy, and my hair was getting very like everything. When I looked into the mirror, I was like, who is this miserable woman? And that was one of the reasons why I thought, okay, maybe I have to do something about myself to make like and to make myself happy and to make my family happy, because when I looked at myself, I was so miserable that I was kind of like so sad, more sad, and I couldn't be happy with my kids, which was very unhappy. So that was one of the reasons I started my beauty product, and the placenta. That was my first product, the placenta.
So this is a placenta product. So you began with the placenta, and placenta is very famous all over Europe as an incredible tool to really help improve the skin, the youth within our skin, and overall. And you use it for energy and well-being. So tell us a little bit about it.
So placenta, of course, it is very good for your skin and for staying young. But at the same time, I think it's very like it's an all cure. Like olden people would take the placenta. It's kind of like gross in a way, but like after birth, like animals, they eat their placenta
Right.
in order to regain the energy, and that explains it all. I think like to after birth, they're very tired, and when they take their own placenta, they can start up and like stand up again. So that's one of the reasons why, like even it works with human beings too, and so I would take it as like a energy drink, and not only for my skin but for my body, and like it also works for liver health. So like after drinking a lot, I love drinking. So like after drinking a lot, or like even after,
What do you like to drink?
I would say anything, anything but like wine or like champagne or like whiskey these days, and or sake or anything. But after drinking, of course, like as you age, it will be hard to digest, and like the next day you'll be hangover. But like I tell you, if you take the placenta at night before going to bed, you don't get many like as hangover as you do if you don't take it. So that's one of the ways that I use it.
Yes.
But like,
Let's take a look.
okay. This comes in a very small package, and it's very light. It comes.
Should we each take one?
Okay, sure. There you go.
So,
Yeah, you just like squeeze it and twist it and open it.
okay. So,
Naomi, don't drink this.
cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
Cute. Oh, now my turn?
Yeah, Naomi? Yeah.
I'm a little bit nervous to drink this, honestly, to be drinking the placenta, but if it gives me any sort of the benefit of what you're speaking about. You know, I obviously am very aware of it. It's part of many cultures in
Yes.
Europe as a tool for beauty. So I'm going to trust you and go for it.
Yeah.
So it tastes like it's got a pungent, strong flavor to it. Definitely one of the key beauty secrets here in Japan. I see different placenta products, not probably of the same quality, in the marketplace. Do you consider it to be one of the key beauty secrets?
Placenta and collagen
Yes.
is very, very, like, it has been and it will be, I think, one of the key elements in Japan.
Yes.
But I would say placenta is more, since it is placenta. Some people would consider it as not a drinking product. Like they don't want to take anything
Right.
placenta as a drinking thing. But like, I would say if it works, no problem.
And if you think about this, collagen is coming from oftentimes the hide. Like in China, they use the donkey hide for the very high quality collagens, and it's the film that's like right underneath the hide.
Yes.
Or you use bones and joints, and they get broken up into very small, micronized, hydrolyzed collagen. Sometimes it's the chicken sternum. I mean, there are different sources. You can get fish collagen,
Yeah, fish, like salmon, and like even pork.
even pork collagen.
pork.
That's right.
The-
Absolutely.
The skin, like
Yeah.
between the skin.
Between the skin,
Skin
and the muscle.
and
Yeah.
muscle.
So to think about that versus placenta, I don't really see the difference.
Me too, but some people, especially, like I don't see many Japanese or Asian people like going, but like tell you the truth, the Western people,
Right. But here we're in Japan,
Yeah.
where beauty is at such a high level,
Yes.
and you consider placenta and collagen to be the two sort of like beauty staples.
It is, I think so. Like people, it doesn't go away. It's always there. Like
Yeah.
the other things, it comes and goes.
Yeah.
Like out of the market, in the market, out of the market. But like collagen and placenta is always there for some
love it.
reason.
I love that. So collagen and placenta as the two main staples. Where do you typically get your collagen from?
I think I would say mostly every day because
Wonderful.
I do take fish, and when I take fish, I take the skin as well. I eat the
Yes.
skin as well, and like the pork, I try to eat all the part. Like I don't try to only eat the red meat part, but
Right.
like try to eat the fatty part and the skin part as well, which makes as a natural collagen.
Yes.
And the chicken and like everything.
Where did you learn that?
I guess it's from my mother. Like my mom, like used to, she made a lot of soups. I don't think it's the Japanese way because the Japanese way is more like this. The miso soup is. I don't think they take the broth from chicken.
Right.
But since I did grow up abroad, and like I think she learned like cooking from the Chinese, like person that she knew in the U.S. I think that's where she learned her cooking, and that's where it came to me.
That's beautiful. Everywhere I go, there's green tea. From the moment I wake up in the morning, everybody is drinking hot teas, cold teas, matcha teas, green everywhere. And it makes perfect sense because of the powerful EGCGs that are found in green tea. It really seems to be one of the core staples here in Japan. And it's a wonderful thing. Something that probably much of the world could learn from. Tell me a little bit about how long you've been drinking green tea, and then why you consider the green tea, or the unique and special form of green tea that we're going to talk about, so incredibly important.
Well, I actually love green tea. Like, normal, well, any kind of tea, but like when it comes to green tea, since it's so hot, it's very very potent and it's very very strong in many ways. I kind of got affected by it a lot, and I can't sleep at night when I take too much green tea, or maybe a little bit of stomach ache when I drink too much. But the reason why I came up with this tochu, and then I thought why this would be such a good alternative to the green tea that's already in the market, was that this tochu is non-caffeine, and tochu leaves is non-caffeine, and at the same time, like green tea actually lowers the temperature of your body, whereas this tochu, it makes your body warmer. And in Japan, like it's essential for a woman to stay warm inside. It's
Right.
it's good for the well-being. It's
Yes.
for a woman's body to be warm is the most important thing. The higher the temperature, it's better.
So interesting that you say that, because one of the key themes that I've observed over here is how warmth
Yes.
is connected to beauty.
Yes.
So the treatments that I've had at the spas are warming. Everything is sort of with this focus on heat, and I like what you're saying here. So how does tocha, tochu,
It's in Japanese.
impact the warmth in our body?
It just warms your body, whereas green tea cools down your body. And like if it's warm, of course the immune system, it works better, and like it gets your body, the body system gets more vibrant. It's energetic.
Yes.
And one of the, I think, I don't know about the other countries, but in Japan, it's the women's the concern. The most, like, one of the biggest concern is like digestion.
Yes.
And since, as you can see, many Japanese, they're like very very thin Japanese,
Yes.
late girls, but they always think about diet, like trying to lose more weight,
Right.
and they do it in a very very radical way. It's a very I would say not a very healthy way, and they try to drink what do you say, like laxatives,
Yeah,
and
diuretic.
yeah, and of course that way they could like digest more, and not digest,
Yeah.
like,
Eliminate.
but when it comes to tochu, it comes in a very natural way.
Yeah.
So like it's more like your body adjusts so that it becomes more easy to digest, and so you wouldn't think of like I need to go to the bathroom, but like it's more like, oh, next morning
Yeah.
you're very very happy about like
Yes.
your health every
Yeah.
single morning.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, as a child, it was such a everyday thing. It was such an easy thing. But like when you grow older and you're eating not as healthy as before, then it's gonna be harder. But like with tochu, I would say I can promise you some kind of like healthy life, just like your childhood.
So tell me the difference of tochu. Like, what is a little bit of the history of this type of?
Okay.
It's a type of green tea.
I would say no, it's not a type of green tea.
Okay.
It's a Chinese herb.
Okay.
So like there's like 5 or 6 very high ranked Chinese herb, like the ginseng and
Yes.
what else? Ginseng and I forgot. There's 5
Yes.
5 or 6, and tochu, yeah,
Yes.
tochu is considered to be one of them, and so it was very hard for the regular people to reach tochu. So, and tochu in China was grown in only one part of China, in a very special area. Now I don't think so. It's like all over,
Yeah.
but at one time it was only in one area. But when it came back, and when it came to Japan, I guess they knew that it's gonna be a big hit, so they grew it everywhere. So now you can see tochu everywhere, but I think so. But here in Japan, it's really, really hard to find. Now, it's really hard to find a Japanese farmer who raises tochu. And at the same time, the farmers are getting very, very old. So it's really, really hard to get a quantity and a good quality tochu in Japan. But I try to work with the farmers, and I get
Very nice. And can you show me how I should best drink it?
Okay.
And then this is it as well, where
This is the bottle,
yes,
and there's
and this I can find at pharmacies and at convenience stores.
This is in like a special convenience store.
Yeah.
It's like called Natural Lawson.
Understood.
Yeah. Other than that, you can find it in a very like a organic select store,
Yes.
and it's all over in Japan.
Excellent.
And okay, so this bottle is one of the eye-catching
Yes.
bottle, but so there's powder here
Okay.
inside the
Yeah.
cap, and so if you open it, if you
Yes.
want to open it, you just have to twist, and the powder comes out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the tochu.
Yeah. All you have to do is shake it.
That's all you have to do is shake it.
There's only tochu green powder inside the cap. Nothing else. No additives, no preservatives. The one of the reasons why I separated the bottle and the powder and the water is because I didn't want to add any additives or preservatives.
Oh, it's delicious.
It's like green tea,
Yes.
but milder maybe.
It does taste more mild than a green tea. Excellent. I always consider enzymes to be the spark of life. And you had mentioned to me that in Japan, the women are very much focused on digestion and how it's working and keeping the warmth sort of in the microbiome, which I found to be fascinating. One of the things I've noticed as I've been shopping around here is how enzymes are being sold everywhere, right? They're everywhere. And we don't see that yet in the US. Like enzymes are popular in the US, but I see them here, like on the front counter at different shops, even at some of the restaurants, you see enzymes. So why are enzymes important to you, and why do you consider them to be one of your 3 most important beauty rituals?
Okay, so one of the reasons why I started enzyme is that I didn't want to go out of my box, which is like the not only organic but something natural and like everything made in Japan. And I wanted to talk to the farmers, and I wanted to see where it was made, or I didn't want to get it from anywhere that I don't know where it comes from. So this enzyme also was from like the western part of Japan, which is called Okayama Prefecture. And all of there's 75 different kinds of fruit and vegetables inside this enzyme. It's fermented for 3.5 years.
Wait, for 3.5 years
Yes,
you're
3.5.
fermenting it? Can I pour it while
Yes,
you're
please.
telling us about
Yes.
it? Okay, 75 fruits and vegetables. And how
75.
much should I pour?
I would say try a little bit. It's very sour. It's quite strong. Some people would say too strong. But the reason why I'd say if you had taken other enzymes that
Right.
is in the market, you would find this very, very tasty. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To the spark of life. Very, very tasty.
It's good, isn't it?
Yes.
So we did add like grape juice, like
Yes.
like organic Japanese made grape juice in it. But like other than that, it's like the enzyme, the paste
Right.
that they had fermented for 3.5 years.
Wow.
And so this fermenting is considered with what, black sugar? Not black sugar, brown sugar. Brown sugar from Okinawa. And 乳酸菌、lac
Lactase?
lactose is like something to like something in the yogurt.
Lactobacillus?
I think so.
Yes.
In yogurts
Yes, lactobacillus.
from Mongolia, and they fermented. They used those and only those and fermented for like 3.5 years, and they don't use any heat or any pressure, so they just leave it and like sometimes stir it. And something what I found it very amazing was that they ferment every single fruit or vegetables individually because they want to use. They always use the best fruit in season. Let's say they take the peaches in the season. They take the peaches and they ferment it in a barrel, one barrel, and they do it for 3.5 years, and they add it at the end. They all mix it together at the end. So that's one of the reasons why the enzyme itself is very tasty, and it has a lot of sugar already, natural sugar, and of course a lot of nutrition because it's in season.
Right.
So I thought, okay, maybe this could be one of the things that I could give my kids, or like I could like give my husband for support for like health. Like basically everything that I make, I want something for myself, and at the same time I want to give it to my family. So I don't want to put any additives in or like preservatives in. So that's one of the reasons why I made
Beautiful
this.
product. And I think that, it's just fascinating, the emphasis on 3.5 years to create such a wonderful thing.
I know. It's very, very, it must be such a long time just like to stir it and stir it. But they do it, and I guess they do an amazing job.
Yes, absolutely. You
Mhm.
can tell. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing these enzymes and really the spark of life and beauty.
Thank you.